Hi, my name's Ashley Preer, and for my persuasive speech, I chose the topic, How Important is Communication in Relationships? Communication in a relationship is vital. It's needed for every relationship there is. You have to have good communication to be able to keep relationships strong or break them when necessary. What I mean is that, in a marriage or a very close friendship, good communication is needed so that both parties can talk about things with each other and really know what's going on in the relationship. If my husband and I aren't communicating well, which definitely happens sometimes, our relationship isn't near as strong. We even, can become isolated from each other for a couple hours or even a day or two if it's a pretty big argument. But when we finally come around and realize that's not the way to handle things, we talk it out. We make sure to explain how we feel and what we each need in the relationship. If we didn't do this, our marriage would ultimately fail. How couples behave, whether it's in a relationship or friendship, when they're solving problems together or arguing, can definitely predict the character and success of their relationship. In order to have healthy communication in a relationship, there's a few things that people should do to make sure that happens. First, you have to make sure you're finding the right time to talk. For instance, when my husband's playing a video game, not the best time to interrupt him to want to talk about serious issues. Or when I'm doing homework. He definitely doesn't need to barge in, and want to talk about things, because honestly, in both of those situations, one of us is going to get frustrated. We're going to get angry, probably both of us by the end. And it's just not a good way to handle things. You need to set aside time and, ask your friend or your significant other, hey, I really want to talk about something. Is there a time we could set aside to, hash this out, deal with this? And, because interrupting somebody, as I said earlier, is just going to make them more mad. So definitely finding the right time to talk is important. Another important thing to remember is talk face to face. I know texting and talking on the phone helps out a lot, and I have no qualms with that, but, if you can and are able to, having face-to-face conversations definitely help keep that relationship strong and keep that bond strong. I think it feels like you're paying more attention to that person when it's face-to-face. It feels a lot more personal. Definitely don't send a text message about something that's important, and, preferably not even over the phone unless you honestly have to. Another thing to keep in mind is never attack who you're talking with. Don't come at the situation with, you did this, you did that, you need to do this, or you need to do that. Sure, a few yous maybe, but definitely throw some I's in there too, because it takes two, to make a relationship work or to ultimately, fail that relationship. So I definitely think that when you're coming in to talk about something, it's, important to be respectful and appropriate and to keep an open mind and, to be willing to compromise on things. Some other things to remember is, for sure, be honest. Always be honest with your friend or significant other when you're talking about certain issues. Be sure to check your body language too. People definitely can tell when you're not listening, especially when it comes to looking at your face and your body language. So make sure you give them the eye contact they deserve. Make sure your facial gestures and hand gestures are also, up to speed with what they're saying. You definitely need to listen and not just hear. Communication is also important when you need to break a relationship. There's someone in your life that isn't good for you for one reason or another. It's important to let them know that in an appropriate and respectful manner, in a well-communicated way. I really find this topic interesting because, a lot of relationships fail so easily today in society, and I think one of the prime reasons is because people aren't really listening to each other and aren't really communicating with each other the way they should. If most of society knew how to communicate well, I think everyone, would have drastically improved relationships. When you know how to communicate with someone effectively and listen to what they have to say, it makes a big difference. I think everyone should learn how to communicate well in order to maintain solid relationships, to break ties when needed, and to be able to just communicate with others on a daily basis in regular life. Individuals and couples alike can both learn so much about their relationships if they gain the knowledge and know-how to properly communicate. Thank you.